You ever heard of the name Ira Zahari?
Who's that?
You've never heard the name Ira Zahari?
I mean, it doesn't ring a bell off the top.
In the context of security? Well, let me tell you. Mr. Zahari pleaded guilty for breaking into the Capitol on January 6th through a broken window, wielding a metal rod as a weapon. And Donald Trump appointed him to a team at the Pentagon focused on irregular warfare and, of all things, counterterrorism. That's ironic, given that he participated in one of the most significant incidents of domestic terror in our country's history.
15 countries. That's how many places Marco Rubio told Congress the administration has stepped in to help. 15. Ukraine wasn't one of them. Congressman Bill Keating caught it live. On the record. And Rubio didn't have an answer. He had a gavel cutting him off instead. I am Jason Parker, and I have watched a lot of hearings where a nominee dodges a hard question by running out the clock. I have never watched a Secretary of State get cut off mid-sentence while a member was still counting. Stick around, because this doesn't stop at the vote count. It ends with 2 names. Rubio says he's never heard, sitting inside his own administration. If you're new here, pull up a seat, hit subscribe, because at the Truth Seat, we read the transcript, not the talking points. Here's the hearing.
Secretary, thank you for being here. In conjunction with your job, you're also the National Security Advisor with access to the most sensitive intelligence secrets our countries and other countries have in the world. But before this, you had these 2 positions. You had a distinguished career as a member and a chair for 5 years of the Senate Intelligence Committee up to last year. And you and Senator Warner are some of the most respected and knowledgeable people at that time and voices in the entire intelligence community, earning the trust of Democrats and Republicans alike, Senator and House members, and other countries. So with all your Intelligence Committee experience, and now as Secretary of State and National Security Advisor, and all those years of experience, have you ever, specifically in the context of the intelligence community, heard the name Bill Pulte?
In the context of intelligence?
That's what I said.
No. No, I have
Never heard his name. Okay, thank you for answering that.
Well,
never even heard his name. Given all your years of experience and your position now, never heard the name. For the record, Bill Pulte is a person Donald Trump has chosen for the acting director of national intelligence with no experience in the intelligence field, whose misuse, widely reported, of confidential information led to the prosecution of the president's political enemies, is now the person in charge of the nation's most closely guarded intelligence when he couldn't even conduct himself appropriately as the federal housing finance director. Now, Secretary, have you ever heard of the name Ira Zahari?
Who's that?
You've never heard the name Ira Zahari?
I mean, it doesn't ring a bell off the top.
In the context of security? Well, let me tell you. Mr. Zahari pleaded guilty for breaking into the Capitol on January 6th through a broken window, wielding a metal rod as a weapon. And Donald Trump appointed him to a team at the Pentagon focused on irregular warfare and, of all things, counterterrorism. That's ironic, given that he participated in one of the most significant incidents of domestic terror in our country's history. I think it's shameful, the people that are being appointed, and I think it's also shameful, some of the people that have been fired. Now, I want to move to Iran, because given your nuclear and intelligence background, which is extensive and appreciated and respected, I'm sure you're aware that Ukraine, the country at the time with the 3rd largest nuclear arsenal, peacefully turned over their nuclear weapons in conjunction with the Budapest Memorandum, and in exchange for the U.S. commitment to defend Ukraine if it ever came under threat. The U.S. gave their word to Ukraine they would defend them. And I found this amazing. In your opening remarks, as you took us all over the world, and you mentioned 15 different incidents where you have interceded, 15, the top 15. Not once did you mention Ukraine when you were prioritizing the achievement that's there. Now let me go on.
Tried to stay under
Let
5
me go
minutes.
on. Oh, you tried to stay, yeah, please.
Well, I
It's
can
not
answer
funny.
that.
It's not funny, Secretary. Now,
What's not
in
funny is
Iran
that-
now,
Well, you don't.
In
this is-
Iran
you
now,
can't even
I
answer
reclaim
questions
my
here.
time. I reclaim my time, Mr. Chairman.
You
He's
guys make
interrupting
these
me.
statements and no one
He
can
is
respond.
interrupting me. I'm doing it. I'm asking you to reclaim those seconds back.
No.
Now in Iran, what goes around comes around, Mr. Chairman. Now in Iran, the Trump administration issues a general license to Russia, providing billions in oil profits every month, several billion every month, fueling Putin's war machine. You didn't mention that in your opening remarks. And then this is a war of aggression of Russia attacking Ukraine, which we gave in our agreement. And this is to a country that's assisting us in Iran, Ukraine, and helping a country with a war machine that are aiding Iran against us and putting our service members in jeopardy. Look, we have an opportunity as members just today to vote on the Ukraine Support Act. I hope we do it, and I am confident that we'll have bipartisan support. But I hope this administration will act on its own. They could do things themselves that you didn't mention, like rescind these general licenses, complete a bilateral drone agreement with Ukraine, provide direct military assistance that has access to Ukraine, implement comprehensive sanctions packages,
Representative
and condemn
time has expired.
the aggression.
Representative
Thank you,
Smith
Mr.
of New
Chairman,
Jersey
for taking
is
up
recognized.
my time and squandering it. That's not how a chairman should act.
Representative Smith, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Here's the part that got lost in the shouting. Keating didn't ask Rubio a trick question. He asked him to name two people already working inside Trump's own government. The first was the acting director of national intelligence, the person now overseeing the nation's most classified material. Rubio, 5 years chairing the Senate Intelligence Committee, before this job, said the name meant nothing to him. Nothing. The second name was worse. Keating says this individual pleaded guilty to breaching the Capitol on January 6, armed with a metal rod, and has since been placed on a Pentagon team focused on irregular warfare and counterterrorism. Read that back. A man connected to one of the most serious domestic security incidents in recent memory, now working counterterrorism for the United States government, and Rubio's answer was the same as the first time. Never heard of him? Two names, two blank stares from the man in charge of national security. Then Keating pivots, and this is where it stops being about memory and starts being about priorities. He lays out that Rubio's opening remarks named 15 countries where the administration has interceded. 15. Ukraine wasn't one of them. And here's what makes that omission land differently than it might sound at first. Rubio has explained the Budapest Memorandum before, publicly, on camera. Back in March of 2025, he walked through exactly how the U.S. pledged security assurances to Ukraine after it agreed to give up the world's third largest nuclear arsenal in the 1990s. He knows the deal. He's explained the deal to the public himself. So when a country the U.S. made that promise to doesn't crack his own list of 15 priorities, that's not a gap in his knowledge, that's a gap in his priorities. Keating just made him sit in that gap, live in front of cameras. Keating doesn't stop there either. He raises general licenses that reportedly let Russian oil profits keep flowing, several $billions a month by his account, while Russia wages the very war Ukraine was promised protection from. He lists exactly what the administration could do right now without waiting on Congress. Rescind the licenses, finalize the bilateral drone agreement, move on a real sanctions package. None of it requires new legislation. All of it requires a decision. Rubio never got the floor back to answer for any of it. The gavel came down, time expired, next witness called. I have watched a lot of witnesses run out the clock on a hard question. I have never watched one run out the clock on a promise he'd already explained to the public with his own mouth. This is not a story about one bad hearing. It's about what happens when the people setting foreign policy priorities decide on their own what gets a mention and what gets left off the list, and nobody in the room can make them answer for it before the clock runs out. If you want more of these hearings broken all the way down, facts first, no spin, no letting it slide, hit subscribe. I'm Jason Parker, and I'll see you in the next one.